The world can take everything from you, but it can't touch this one thing. There's a moment that happens to all of us. Maybe you're sitting in your car after a long day, the world spinning outside, and inside, you feel like everything is falling apart. Your boss was unfair. Your partner misunderstood you again. Traffic was insane, and worst of all, that familiar voice in your head whispers, you have no control over any of it. That thought, it stings, because it feels true. The world is chaotic, unpredictable, and indifferent to our plans. But what if I told you there's one thing, just one, that you can always control no matter how wild the storm gets? Let me tell you a story. A few years ago, a man named James found himself completely undone. He had just been laid off from a job he gave 10 years of his life to. That same week, his girlfriend left him. His savings barely enough to survive a month. And as if life was mocking him, his car broke down on the side of the road in the middle of a rainstorm. He sat there, wet, angry, heartbroken, and defeated. He kept asking, why is this happening to me? But then something strange happened. As the rain slid down the windshield, something clicked. He remembered a quote he had once scribbled in a notebook from a philosopher he barely understood. At the time, it was from Epictetus, a former slave turned Stoic teacher. The quote said, "We cannot control what happens to us. We can only control how we respond." It didn't change his circumstances, but it changed him. In that moment, James realized the truth. His power wasn't in fixing everything, it was in how he chose to show up to the mess. And that's the essence of Stoic philosophy. We often waste our energy trying to bend the world to our will, to fix people, change outcomes, win every battle. But the Stoics remind us that the only true freedom lies in mastering our inner world. You always have the power to control your mind, your thoughts, your actions, your response. Imagine your life as a ship. The sea is wild. The winds howl. Waves crash without warning. You can't calm the storm, but you can learn to steer. You can grip the wheel even when your hands shake. That wheel, your mind, is the only thing you truly own. Seneca, one of Rome's most influential Stoics, once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." And when you think about it, this mindset is the ultimate form of power, because no one, no person, no event, no tragedy can take it from you unless you hand it over. This is what makes Stoic philosophy so powerful even today. It doesn't promise to change the world. It teaches you how to thrive within it. You see, control isn't about dominance. It's not about micromanaging your life down to the tiniest detail. It's about self-discipline, the quiet courage to choose your reaction. When someone insults you, you can choose silence over anger. When plans fall apart, you can choose resilience over despair. When the future terrifies you, you can choose to stay grounded in the present. There was a time when I believed control meant having everything go my way. I used to get frustrated when things didn't line up perfectly. But then life happened, illness, rejection, failure. And I realized my frustration didn't come from the events themselves. It came from the belief that they shouldn't happen. That belief was the root of my suffering. The Stoics teach us to remove that expectation, to say, I don't expect life to be easy. I expect it to be life. And in doing so, we strip away the false illusion that happiness comes from outside. Instead, we find it right where it always was, inside. So, the next time life feels unfair, when people disappoint you, when the world feels hostile, when your plans fall through, pause. Take a breath. and ask yourself, what is mine to control right now? It might not be much, but even a tiny shift in your attitude can change the direction of your day, and enough of those days will change your life. Think of Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor. He ruled during wars, plagues, and betrayals. Yet in the quiet of the night, he wrote to himself not as a king, but as a student of the Stoic path. In one of his most famous reflections, he said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." He wasn't preaching, he was reminding himself. And maybe now, it's your turn to remember too. Because here's the secret no one tells you. You don't need the world to be perfect for you to be at peace. You just need to take ownership of the one thing that's always within reach, yourself. That's the cornerstone of Stoic philosophy, that even in chaos, you can remain unmoved. That even when the world roars, your soul can stay still. When the world gets loud, return to your breath. When the future overwhelms you, come back to the present. When people mistreat you, let your response be rooted not in ego, but in character. That is the Stoic way. That is real strength. And if you're thinking, but I don't know if I have that kind of control, I want you to understand something you already do. It's not something you earn, it's something you remember. Act of patience, every moment of restraint, every time you choose wisdom over impulse, that's you steering the ship. That's you reclaiming your power. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to never feel angry or anxious. But you do have to decide who you want to be, especially when life doesn't go your way. Because in those moments when the world seems to be choosing for you, you still get to choose yourself. So today, I want to leave you with one question. When everything else is out of your hands, what kind of person will you be? If this message resonated with you, then maybe it's time to take the next step. Start small. Wake up tomorrow with the intention not to control your day, but to control your response to it. Practice presence, practice patience, and above all, practice the art of choosing who you want to be again and again. If this story moved you, consider subscribing to the channel, not because I told you to, but because maybe you're ready to live with more strength, clarity, and freedom. And if so, I'll be right here, every step of the way. Because no matter where life takes you, remember, you can always control how you show up to it. That's your power. Use it well.